All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today is December the 10th, 2025. It is Masterclass Day. So glad to be here. And we're going to start our next session. And before I get started, let me know, y'all, how are you enjoying the app? We got our own mobile app now. I told you it was coming out. The web app version is here. The mobile app version on the Play stores will be launched very, very soon. But I want to get everyone into our web app so that we are now away from Instagram. We're away from the LinkedIn, the Facebook groups. I'm telling you, things are getting to the point where you need your own group economy. So I hope you are enjoying the priorities and the goals and games and everything that we have in there. It's only going to get better. We're going to be implementing some tiny visuals and some really cool things for us to really get involved. And I want to continue to see you each and every week on these master classes. And I know we still have some people that are going to be migrating over from the Facebook group. So we already sent the message. The Facebook group is gone now. Okay, it's gone. We all are focused in on the app. So I'm going to get started with a word of prayer. We're going to be covering today how to build your own business GPT. Yeah, y'all. It's some new topics I got. If you saw the masterclass schedule, there's a schedule now in the app so where you don't have to wait for the topic. You can actually just see the syllabus, if you will. And we're going to go ahead and get started with today's topic. I believe it's going to be a lot of fun. We can get some good value out of it. So let's go ahead and pray. Dear God, we thank you and we praise you for another productive day that you've given us to explore your goodness and your mercy. And Lord Jesus, we praise you and thank you for this time where we can present opportunities to improve our automations and our marketing, whether we are a coach, a keynote speaker, a coaching company, those of us who are exploring ways to be more productive with our content and with our time. I pray that this call will be productive in terms of the clarity. I pray that every single person will get value out of it. Help them, Lord, in their distress regarding what they need. And I pray that this content will be in a manner to where it will encourage those business owners, encourage those who want to actually take their business to the next level to see how things can be done for them and not against them. And so, Holy Spirit, have your will and have your way. Open up our eyes of understanding. Even those who are watching the replay, give them the insight that they need to take action, to not just watch on the sideline, but actually take action to get in the fight so they can be an influence in their community. We love you, Lord, and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Let's go, y'all. I felt that prayer. Let's do it. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get right into the presentation for the day. So when it comes to building out your own GPT, for those who remember the series that we were doing regarding those different assistants, we had different assistants given to you of ones from sales, building presentations, topics, right? For your offers. If you wanted that, we have GPTs for email writing. What we're going to do is actually show you how to build your own business GPT. Now, I don't know about you. I like things personalized to fit my voice, fit my personality, show you, how things are done according to how I think it should be done based upon the skills, talents, and abilities that God has given me. And I would rather put it into my own GPT. And so guess what we're going to do today? I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it, how to build your own GPT. Now, let's make sure that we fully understand now that we're on this side of the app. So we are away from the Facebook group. So let me show you how this is going to work before I get into the content. So each and every week as you're in the app, once again, you're going to see if you go to masterclasses. And if you want, let me go and show you my screen. Hold on. So I want you all to see this in live time. Okay, here we go. So if you see this here under masterclass, right? Masterclass is right here. You're going to see upcoming masterclass topics. This is where we are right here. All right. You're going to see inside the app the schedule. It's going to show you the next one's going to be the online education, how to leverage your expertise. That's for next week. We'll probably skip Christmas week, which is the lead generation. I'll probably cover that at the top of the year because remember, we're still solving those main problems. I hope you all enjoyed that series of those main problems to get straightened out before 2026. And so you see the rest of the schedule here. This is what you can follow. Also, we have here in this section for you to suggest a topic. Please use this. Suggest a topic. I'll receive it. And when you actually put it in, I'll make sure that we get that covered within our schedule so that when you see it, you can invite your friends, invite your business owners so that when we talk about your specific one, that you come on a call and we'll even spotlight you. Okay. So make sure you go there and you see that we are live. Hey, we're live. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the presentation for the day. I just want to get that cleared up because I know, again, it's new in terms of the app, and I know some of us have been using it. Those who just joined, I want you to know the value of now having our own app platform. And this is not going to be live in Facebook group or anywhere else, but only in this app. All right, housekeeping done. So what is a Business GPT, right? It's pretty much a model that actually simulates your personality, your tone, your company, your niche, everything that has to do with the operations and the functionality of your business. In other words, you're truly cloning your brain when it comes to inputs and outputs. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. What you're doing is you're creating a model that's cloning the functionality, the operations, the niche, everything in your company. You're building it out so that you can be able to use it for inputs and outputs in your business. Okay. And when it comes to building out a GPT, what you always want to do is make sure that you give it your voice. You don't want to sound like anybody else. You don't want to give it any other personality. You actually want to use it to fit what you're trying to do in terms of your message. It can be if you want a strategy plan. You want to be able to do this without having to, go to different sources. You're already building this out for yourself. So as you see here, this last statement, think of it as your AI employee. That's really what it is. You're creating another employee for yourself. Now, caution, let me put a huge caution out there. I am never for replacing the human element. We should never replace the human element. So I'm actually against those types of models that actually replace people using AI, receptionists. And I get the concept, but I'm against that. I'm all about making sure that we use the human element of communication, because we forget that, we're going to be in trouble regarding these communities. So when I say AI employee, this is just another person that you can add within your business to help you do work faster. If you still want to hire a VA, hire that VA. This is really a person that you want to use while you're sleeping. Does that all make sense? Because we all got to go to sleep. We all got to close our eyes. So think of it as an AI employee that can work for you while you're sleeping. All right, so hope that's clear. Now, why does a business GPT matter in this day and age, right? What you want to be able to do is have these bases covered when it comes to your business, right? Customer support. I just mentioned to you, it's okay to have a VA assistant. Please do get a VA. I have a client success manager and a virtual assistant. However, guess what? They got to go to bed at some point. So what can we do in the background so that those who are in different parts of the world, because we are also international, right? We have a client in Austria. We have someone in Canada before. I've had a colleague in Canada. I have colleagues in the UK that I touch base with every now and then. So how do you make sure that if someone wanted to reach you, if you have an international audience or a national one, can do so? And they're like, you know what? It's late at night for me. I had this business idea, this question I wanted to run by them, and I don't want to bother them. They're probably asleep. Customer support, right? And we know that customer support within business is still the most underrated functionality of our businesses. This has never been, well, let me say this. We're at a time where customer support is at its lowest because you see a lot of technology taking over in the standpoint of not giving you real answers. It's more like cookie cutter answers. And that's why I'm going over this with you, because you can actually program this to still give it your voice and to actually be like, you know what? This person's actually talking to me. And guess what? If an answer is not really clear, guess what you can do? Still submit an email, submit a text, and you as a business owner can still get in touch with that person. Again, we are not eliminating that. We're just trying to make it faster in terms of the communication cycle, right? Because if we're really honest, we know our schedules are tight. If you have a tight calendar, if you don't want, as you know me, I teach this, don't have a calendar from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. all full each and every day, because that's burnout. So we're busy as it is. Imagine this working for you while you're in, several sessions. If you're in the air flying, someone can actually access your GPT and they can ask a question, and instead of you flipping the phone to Wi-Fi mode, it's working out for you, right? So that's why you build out a GPT for customer support. Content creation. How many of us are still having issues trying to conjure up social media content, right? What if your business GPT built out your content for you, right? You can actually create it because it's based on your branding, your voice, and everything. And lo and behold, we're going over this Business GPT creation now, but I'm going to be showcasing something that actually will take this to the next level very soon. And it's with a colleague of mine that's actually here in Maryland, right? He actually has a system, and literally I have access to that. And I'm actually still, getting used to it, giving it my voice and everything. So I can't wait to showcase that because I think you all going to love it. So content creation. Let's say you wanted to analyze some trends. Let's say you wanted to do an offer. You're like, you know what? Let me see what my competitors are doing, right? Product research, excellent for those who have merch. If you have some merchandise, you're like, you know what? I don't want to just do another polo hoodie, right, for my logo. I want to do something so unique, have some words, right? You can use it for product research and also sales outreach, prospecting, emails, leads, streamlining buyer leads. You want to be able to use this GPT for yourself. All right. So how do you exactly start this? Okay. Again, I'm going to be interactive. So I'm going to switch between this coming up and also I'm going to demo the GPT process so you can build it out. Let me make sure no one's coming in on the call. Okay, we're good. We're clean. Okay. All right. So to start building this out, as you're going to see, is you want to be able to start with clear business goals. You want to be able to start off with what exactly you want this GPT to do as your business AI employee, if you will, right? You want to be able to really know what outcomes and what objectives do I want this to fulfill for me. If you're in business, and I'm gonna give you a good example, if you're in years 1 through 5, right? Obviously, we know that's the building foundation years, and you may not have too many clients yet. It's okay. We've all been there, right? I'm raising both my hands with you. So maybe your goal is to become established in the branding, right? So you want to put that as an objective is to establish my brand, not just with the colors, not just with the branding messaging, but also regarding how people see your brand. Where's the story behind it? So you want to actually define whatever that goal is for yours. You want to articulate that in this GPT. What you also want to do is do the inputs and outputs. You want to map those out. We're going to really get into that here in a minute. Is you want to be able to identify what data you want going in and also actions to go out. Customarily with GPT models, it's all about input and output. And most models that you see are already programmed with data, again, 20 plus years of data already in there. So you want to really give it the data that you want in there so that it can give you the right output. And what does that look like? Let's say you have testimonials and you want to be able to share that with people who are saying, hey, can you show me some case studies? Well, you want to program it with the case studies. Let's say you got 5 or 10 case studies. Put those in there, right? Show your Google review platform. I know for us, I think we got like 10 plus reviews now, and I want to really get that up. That's one of the areas where I'm really improving on with me. Is you want to program it to where you're putting in those things to where it gets you the output of those data points. So please don't underestimate inputs and outputs. Also, you want to set up your success metrics, right? What does success look like to you? Is it booked appointments? Is it sales? Is it fulfillment on services? Is it actually seeing your VAs, your client success managers handle things? What does success look like to you? So you want to set that up. Also, which is really important, do not forget this step. If you don't get nothing else on this call, please get this step. Make sure you establish boundaries, right? Make sure you set up exactly what you don't want and what you do want. Because remember, this is your business. You want to be able to have it protected. And so what you don't want to do is take someone else's content, things like that. There's nothing wrong with benchmarking and getting ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you use the God-given gifts, talents, and abilities that he has given you so that you can actually, get people to see you. They don't want to see anybody else. They came to see you, right? So it's very important. Okay. Now, let's get to, because I'm going to actually go to the actual GPT before I go to this slide, because this is going to lead to the back and forth coming up. All right. So let's get started. If you go to chatgpt.com or chat.openai, go there, go ahead and log in. You know the drill. And what you want to do is you want to go to Explore. So here to the left, you want to click Explore, and you're going to hit on Create, right? And when you hit Create, you're going to see two things here. You're going to see Create and Configure. right? So pretty much what you're going to tell it to do is that you want to basically create a business GPT for yourself. Now, if you do it the create way, you're probably going to need a prompt, right? What is a prompt? Let's remind ourselves, what is a prompt? A prompt is a template that has things filled out for you to just copy and paste it based on, different data points, metrics, etc. So what I would recommend, if you do the create part like this, have a prompt already in place. You can do this too within another GPT. You can actually prompt it. But what I actually want to do today is go to configure. Okay, so we're going to skip this one just for today, because remember I told you I have the slide for this one. But let's go to configure. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill out all of these fields right here. Okay, you can fill out all these fields right here. So I'm going to name this GPT. I'm going to name it We LLC GPT. Okay, so give it a name, any name you want to. Description, so you want to actually describe what this GPT does. So remember, you want to go back, and I'm going to go back to the slide that we were just on, because again, this is important. Let me go back here. Okay, so back to this slide. Remember, we want to identify boundaries. So make sure you do this first before you actually go into building this model. I'm just giving you a heads up in terms of what you would do. So do all these things first. Make sure you have this down. Then what you want to do is go back in here and you want to configure it. So again, I'm just doing this as an example, right? Excuse me. So I want this GPT to do the following. I want this GPT to produce content for me to post after sharing masterclass topics. I want the content to be rich, have my voice, personality, and have a call to action. People comment interested to get them to come into our app and take part of our master classes. Okay, so I got that filled out. Again, just fill out the description of what you want this to do. Remember, inputs and outputs. A business GPT, you want it to sound like you. And if you do need a prompt, let me know. Okay, I can develop and build out a prompt for you. If you come on a meeting with me for about 30 minutes, I can actually help you build out a prompt. I'll just have some questions to ask you as far as your business, what you want, how you want it to look. I can configure those things for you. So again, make sure you have all of that done before you do this step, because otherwise you're creating an unknown, like, how do I do this, right? What do I want it to say? It's a very methodic way of doing this so that you can get the right inputs and outputs done. Okay, so what does this GPT do? How does it behave? What should it avoid doing? So I'm gonna put this in here. The GPT is simply creating social media posts for me to post after presenting my masterclass topics. And what I will do is give it the slides that I created and have it shoot me out. And have it produce a post that is very engaging, almost like an epiphany. And that train is coming up soon too. Trust and believe, there's some things next year. We're going to implement some strategies for how to really get your content to convert, your social media content to convert. And it's not going to sound like, you and other people. It's going to actually mean to other people. It's going to only sound like you. So trust and believe, that train is coming up. I might have to alter the schedule because I do want to get that done in January. It's like an epiphany post for people to take action. Okay. I want to avoid looking like everyone else and be sure to have the call to action specifically for people to comment a certain word based on the post it produces. All right. Got that done. Again, it's just an example. Let's go ahead and go to conversation starters. So conversation starters is exactly what you want to input for it to give you a headline. So if they mention this headline or this line of text, it's going to start producing a conversation with you based on what you have here in the instructions. So conversation starters would be words like, I'm making this up, just produced a masterclass. And next one can be, I need a viral social media post. And let's just do one more. How to create content from my masterclass. Okay. And you've seen this before too. You know how when you go into a GPT and you actually see those little squares. In fact, let me show you. I'm actually in it. Okay, I'll show it to you another time. But pretty much anytime you go into a GPT, remember those assistants that we had, those different 12 or 14 that we showed you? It had those square boxes just to get the conversation started. That's what this is doing. All right, so I'm going to capitalize this. So this is based on what I'm instructing it to do. So you can just click here and it'll go to work. Okay. Now, regarding conversations with your GPT, if I were you, I would upload a file of your voice. I would upload some pictures, logos. You would do all of that right here. Again, because of time, I'm going to skip this step. But you would upload that. And anything you want to do as far as create a new action, right? You can create a new action right here. And you can actually go into your API keys, save all of those, and it will actually make it more like you so you can be found. Okay. So now you all, guess what? That's it. Right. If I wanted to upload a photo, you can do that right here. I think I have something of a logo. Hold on a second. I really want you all to see this in action. I have an LLC, Face LLC. Oh, you know what? I do. Hold on a second. This was done Monday. Yeah, here we go. Watch this, y'all. Boom. Got the image. That's from 21. Got the gray suit on. Let's go. All right. So I'm going to hit that and configure. And now we can hit create. Okay. Now, this is also important too. So see where it says create and it shows share GPT. You have 3 options. If you only want this for you, cool. If you want anyone with the link to use it, be very careful because remember, we're in an age where people will steal your content. So if I were you, I will only use this for yourself and for your clients, and make sure you have a disclaimer sharing with them that they only use it for this purpose, because otherwise, again, like I told you, people are stealing data left and right. So if you only want to for now, have it just for you. But if you do anyone with the link, just be careful and be mindful that whoever you share it with, just have it only with your clients. It will save you some headache. Okay. So I'm going to hit only for me. I'm going to hit save. And now it's going to go into the next screen. Great. And now it's published. Y'all, it only took 5 minutes to do. If you have a prompt, and again, I can give you all a prompt, it's even faster than that. Okay. Because you'll be able to go to create. So if I was to hit view GPT, let's go here. All right. Now I'm going to go back to the presentation. Let me share my screen and I'm going to go to this part right here. All right. Goes the prompts. So when it comes to prompting, if you do this step with the create part, what you want to be able to do is showcase a blueprint of what you want it to do. So let's say you had a blueprint prompt like this. You are a customer support specialist for name your company. Respond to customer inquiries using a blank tone, reference our knowledge base for accurate information, yada, yada. If you do a prompt like this, guess what you actually got to make sure you have in that GPT? A knowledge base of information. In other words, if you have a standard procedures, common questions, anything related to customer support, you want to upload those files inside of that GPT. Otherwise, they're not going to see anything. So that's if you use this prompt. Okay. So that's for that part. Here's another area where I want you all to consider when it comes to building out this whole thing. Okay. We just talked about the data sources. We talked about custom prompts. You also have integrations. You can also integrate your calendars and your emails inside of these tools. All right. If you want to integrate in your business GPT an opportunity for people to schedule an appointment, you can do that. You can actually put inside there, here's a link to my calendar. I want this to be shown for those who still need questions. put your calendar link in there, right? If they need to send a direct email, put your email address in there. So you can integrate these things in here. Now, there's a little bit more tech, but you can do it. Also, with your toolkit, if you have workflows, if you have a CRM like we do, you can also automate sequences. So when people respond, let's say a new lead is generated, right? Let's say a business is like, you know what, I want to send this to a colleague. And again, maybe that's part of your disclaimer that, hey, only send it to prospects. They can actually put their information in that lead form, and it'll go to the workflow of your CRM. Boom, you got that done too. Okay. And of course, monitoring. We just went over that regarding making sure you're careful with who you share this with. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually pause right here because of time. I'm going to actually show you real quick this in action, and then we'll jump on part 2 of this another time. So here we go. I want this GPT to produce content for me to post after sharing masterclass topics. And I'm going to start the conversation because this is actually in live time. So I just produced my masterclass. All right. I'm going to tell it right quick. Here are my points. Let me go. I'm just going outside of this briefly. Okay. All right. So I'm taking all of my actual slides. So I'm taking this right here. Here are my slides. And you all do know with Gamma, you can actually produce slides too for yourself. You can produce these yourself in Gamma. I'm just doing it here in Perplexity. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to drop my content. Thank you. Here is the slides that I did. And guess what? It says, here is your epiphany style high engagement posts entirely on the slides you shared. All right. Now, y'all, if I were you, this thing right here is exactly what people need to see because they want to see exactly and hear your voice. And again, I didn't even program it too much of my voice yet. This is truly just what I wanted to have it say from this type of masterclass. What you would do is copy and paste this into your LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and watch that thing go viral. And guess where the call to action is? Comment GPT. Right there in your face. All right? So y'all, I hope you got some value out of this call. That's how you build out a business GPT. This is just one side of this. We're going to definitely do a part 2. Let me stop sharing the screen. All right. So that's just part 1 of this. I'm definitely going to do a part 2. I'm going to move around the schedule because, again, this is all new regarding the app. And I'm continuously getting used to this app as well. This is fun for me, just like it's fun for you. So we'll do another call on this specific topic. But I hope you got some value out of it. Let me know what you think about the app. Let me know what you think about this masterclass. And I'll see you on next week. God bless you.